I wanted to talk about today men's mental health. Too many people, they don't talk about this. They think it's kind of taboo. Not everyone really actually goes deep into this and how you can actually improve it for yourself as a man like I have. And that's honestly something I'm super passionate about, helping young men out, helping even older men out too with fixing their mental health, because it's a problem that's not really discussed in day-to-day life, because people a lot of times think it's maybe soft to talk about men's mental health, but in reality, it's not. It's actually super awesome that you can be an advocate for men's mental health and actually going into that and actually helping others do the same. So in today's video, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and actually how I improve my mental health and some of the problems that I've overcame and that have really affected my mental health, and how you can do it for yourself too, how you can level up in your own life by improving your mental health. So with all that being said, let's go hop right into the video. During COVID, a lot of people have been struggling with mental health. They've been super antisocial because of the lockdowns and everything like that. And honestly, that really affected me quite a lot, because I am quite a social person. And during 2020 to 2022, I was just so antisocial. I just completely lost and forgot who I was deep down. Just completely being lost in the sauce of playing video games, watching porn, doing all these horrible habits for me. And I was not actually being true to who I was. And my mental health was completely suffering because I wasn't talking to anyone. And this is a thing that a lot of men actually during that time have experienced, the isolation factor. They need to talk to women, they need to talk to like-minded men, and that's something that we didn't have during that time really, because it was kind of taken away from us with the mandates or the masks, stuff like that. During that time, I was waking up late at like 3 p.m. every single day, completely screwing my mental health. I didn't get any sunlight because I was up at 3 p.m. and then I would play video games. I would hop right on the freaking Fortnite till I think 11 p.m. most days. 11 p.m. And it was horrible because my mental health was completely screwed. So, after that, I was getting a little better. I started to exercise more, like I said. And then once I started to exercise more, I would notice that I almost didn't want to go back to those horrible habits. I almost didn't want to go back to playing so many video games, watching all that degenerate content. I didn't even really want to, but I still did, because I was coping with childhood traumas that I've been through. So my parents divorced when I was super young. I'm not super young. I was actually 8 years old. Honestly, from that moment on, my childhood felt completely just broken. And I didn't even feel like a kid anymore. I realized that, you know what, I gotta be the man in the house now. At like freaking 8 years old, I realized that. Because when your parents divorce, it truly breaks you. It separates you. There's these first year hole, like this, and then once they separate and divorce, you just become broken. So with being broken, you have to overcome certain traumas. You have to do the deep shadow work, the things that are and actually make you get better from that. So that's the personal development, things like that. That's what I actually started during that time. I started to journal, reflect more on who I actually was, and all of that to truly kind of remove some of these traumas. And I did a lot of shadow work, stuff like that. I was praying a lot more and just really learning more about myself, who I was, and how I could overcome these things, because my mental health was absolute crap. I mean, it was horrible. Like, I couldn't talk to anyone because I had a horrible self-image. I hated who I looked at in the mirror, and because of that, it would show. I would play all these video games, I would watch porn all the time, and I was not truly satisfied with who I was, because deep down I knew that I wasn't fully achieving the capacity of what it means to be a man. Yes, I was working out, I was exercising, but my diet was still trash. I was eating junk food, I was drinking way too much caffeine, and I wouldn't eat anything. I would just have snacks all day, and I was skinny, and I hated who I looked at in the mirror. I was like, God, this kid's so ugly, so skinny. And my self-talk was like that, and it would show in my real life. So if you want to really overcome stuff like this, self-doubt, and achieve self-confidence and have better self-talk, you gotta go deep. You gotta dig deep into who you actually are. Who are you deep down? And you gotta ask yourself that question: who are you that is going to change the world? What's the version of you that's going to do all that, that's going to achieve all your goals? What version of you can do that? Is it the current version of you right now? The answer is, it's probably not. So, where you are right now is not where you want to be. Let's be honest. That's why you're on this video. Maybe you're just so bored, like I was. I would just watch YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video, thinking that it was going to change my life, but in reality it wasn't, because I wasn't taking action on anything that I was learning. I was just consuming without actually putting in the action or the work. And this actually really got to me too, because I was getting really negative about myself, who I was, thinking I was a loser and stuff like that, which in reality I kind of was, with the habits that I was putting in on a daily basis. But it really all starts with self-image. And once you transform your self-image from where you are right now to where you want it to be, things start to change for you, my friend. You start putting in the daily habits. You start eating healthy. You start actually exercising. You start cold approaching people if you suck at talking to strangers. It's just, you can truly level up from being a loser that's still in his mom's basement, smells like complete ass in there, and you can change it from being a top level person. You can literally change it. You can literally be that person. You can literally put in the work today to achieve everything that you've wanted to achieve. And it's quite simple, actually. A lot of us overcomplicate it all the times. We think that everything has to be in this perfect, precise order. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. But guess what? If you just start, there's a thing, it's called the action. It's called action. It's called the art of the start. Because if you never actually start, and you always think about starting, if you always think about recording the video, but you never do, men, they take action. They get the thought and they take the action right away. Because that's how we conquer. That's how we're supposed to be. So if you're just operating on this low-level frequency, if you're operating on less than what it is to be human, my friend, life can be so much better. Life can be so much better for you, and you can actually change your life in an instant. One of the things that's really helped me out with self-reflection and getting to know who I am deep down is just getting out in nature. It's finding lakes, ponds, any body of water, the woods, and I would just sit here and reflect. Look back on my life and ask myself deep questions like, who am I deep down? Who do I want to become? Who am I inspiring with my current habits? And what can I change to actually inspire more people? Because truly deep down, I knew that I was meant for more at such a young age. At such a young age, I knew that I wasn't just going to be the person that I was going to be, let's say, forgotten by time. I knew I was going to be something else, something bigger in life. And I knew that I was going to inspire millions of people. How do you get that self-belief about you? How do you actually know that that's going to be you? Well, I'll tell you what. It starts with the habits that you put in today. You can think all you want, but if you're not actually putting in positive habits that are going to make your life better, then you're not going to have that life that you know you should have, that you know that you are capable of achieving, because it all starts with the habits. If you're not putting in the habits, then you won't be successful. Every successful person knows that success first comes with the mind, but then it comes with the action, the habits that you put in today and tomorrow and every day after that. It's waking up early. It's going to the gym. It's going on walks, getting 10K steps in a day, talking to strangers and improving your speech patterns. You can be green and growing, or you can be ripe and dying. Because if you're not learning, if you're not getting better every single day, life's not getting better. You're still stuck in the same place that you were yesterday. And that's one of the most horrific feelings on earth. I gotta say, when I was younger, I would be here. Every single day was exactly the same. Up at 3 p.m., go finish my video game session at 11 p.m., jerk off for the first time, then I would eat something, little crackers, like horrible crackers with seed oils and stuff in them. And I didn't even drink any water. I probably drank 1 liter a day max, and that was probably with my energy drink. And I would just play on Fortnite for so freaking long, and every single day would just repeat, be exactly the same. And it was like this for a whole freaking year, and I didn't get any sleep. I barely slept at all. I think I got a couple hours, maybe 6 hours was my max sleep that I got. So sleep, habits, food, what are you putting in your body? Are you drinking enough water? Are you getting outside in nature? Are you having conversations with those of the opposite sex and your own sex? Because if you're not, then you're feeling isolated. Because as humans, we need to be in communion with one another. We need to talk to people. We got to do all these things. Otherwise, we are completely stuck. So to get out of this rut, to get out of this trap of where you are right now, you got to put in the daily habits today. You got to do it tomorrow. And then you just got to keep repeating it forever. Do you want to know what sucks about not actually living to your fullest potential? It's the fact that you know that you can be better, but you're not. And that's what sucks, because every single day there is this nagging sense, this nagging urge that you can be something more, something greater, something better. But you're just living as a shell. You're not even living to the full capacity that you know you can be living at. The full experience of actually being a human living being. You're not even living to your fullest potential. So you feel depressed, as I was. You feel as a shell. You don't feel like life has meaning. Of course it doesn't feel like that, because you're not even putting anything good in that's going to help you improve your life. All you're doing is living day to day. You know what? You're living, but you're not fully alive. Boom, there we go. That's the freaking quote of the day. You're living, but you're not fully alive. If you were fully alive, you would have a smile on your face. And not like the cheesy smile, yeah! No, like you're just happy, genuinely. And maybe people will get pissed at you for just smiling, but what the hell? Why would they do that? People literally do that. Some people actually get pissed at you for you smiling. And it really amazes me. Like, you gotta hate your life so much to actually get mad at someone for smiling. Like, you really gotta be pissed at your life for how horrible it is. But anyway, you gotta put in the habits today. For you to improve your life continuously on a daily basis, you gotta put in the habits. So I wanted to end this video off with the most important habits that actually help my life. So, the first one is meditating. Meditating has allowed me to get in the zone, per se, to honestly kind of heal past traumas that I've been through, and being present in society, because a lot of times everything is just noise. Just think about it. There's always music playing everywhere. When we're at the airport, we're waiting in line at the grocery store, there's a red light. What do you instantly grab? what do you think it is? It's typically always your phone. You always grab your phone when you're bored. And this is honestly an epidemic that needs to stop. We need to actually fully enjoy the present and be outside in nature. We need to be present. You need to understand that the habits that you put in genuinely affect your well-being and who you are today, tomorrow, and for the future. And I'll tell you this, if you're putting in these horrible habits, you are stealing happiness from your future self. So my second habit that helped me out tremendously during this time was reading. Because honestly, I read for school and stuff like that, but reading actually to increase my knowledge in personal areas like personal development, public speaking, things like that, it allowed me to refocus some things and learn some important skills that have taught me on how to be successful in life. And now the third thing that helped me out a lot during this time was taking 10K steps a day, getting in the movement, walking a lot, always walking, always moving, always choosing to ride my bike or walk somewhere rather than drive. And the reason I did this was because I needed to get the movement in. I understood how important it was to move and get your body moving, to get the blood flow moving, to get the thoughts running and everything like that. Because if they're not, if you're just stagnant, if you're in your dark, stinky room playing video games, watching porn, eating junk food, drinking way too much caffeine than you should when you don't even exercise, that's horrible. And that's exactly how my life was. And I knew that I needed to get the movement in to get this energy released, because the energy was honestly kind of stuck. It was just stuck in different places. And that's why a lot of times I would waste it. I would watch porn all the time because I didn't know who I was. I was wasting my energy. So when you actually start to put in the habits, you start to improve your life, you honestly don't really want to do those negative habits anymore because you see how destructive they are. Like for me, doing any type of negative habit, like just kind of disgusts me because I've been there, I've done that. And trust me, it doesn't help. It sucks. It sucks your energy away. It makes you less of a person, a man. It makes you a shell of who you could be. You're never actually going to achieve your full potential if you're still doing horrible habits. So, with all that being said, guys, I wish you the best. I post 2 times a week, every Thursday and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Yo, real quick before you move on with your life and go do some amazing things out in the world, I wanted to say something real quick. So, go ahead and join the Discord server down below if it's a group of like-minded men who are super into personal development, fitness, health, all that. So click the first link down below. And then also, click right here to subscribe. Click right here to get the next video or a previous video. I think it's going to help out a lot. So catch you next one.